Okay, so it is Monday, and I decided to come out and film today because you guys have just given us so much feedback, and I feel like we have gotten to know so many of you guys, and we are just talking gardens, and we're talking animals, and we're talking homesteading, and it's gotten me so excited that I figured although we usually film Wednesday to Sunday, it's Monday, and I would get out here today and just kind of throw up an extra video for you guys today. And I want to show you guys what might be our last big harvest of our summer garden. I think tomatoes and peppers are officially donezo. So we are going to come out here today and we are going to harvest everything up, and I'm going to see how much we get out of the beds, and I want to show you guys everything we get because I'm super excited. Also, I really want to be able to just show you guys a little bit more of the variety we have in here. We obviously started filming really late in the season, so you guys didn't get a good view of everything we have growing in these beds. And I told you we have a bunch of different pepper varieties, so I want to go through each of those that we've had over the summer and kind of walk through the harvest that we've gotten and which one has given us the biggest bounty. So I'm going to get both of our baskets filled up, and then we're going to talk peppers and tomatoes. So I'm going to start in the pepper bed because it is definitely going to give us the biggest harvest. I decided to use our big basket, and I'm just going to throw them all in here, honestly. I'll try to keep them somewhat organized, but we're just going to get going. There's a bunch in here. Yeah, the serranos were another one that, like, I don't feel like we harvested as much, but it stayed full. Like, we would come out, do a big harvest, we'd empty the plant out, and then in a few weeks, all at once, we'd have, you know, dozens of these serranos. And I'm really proud of this serrano plant because it kind of got taken over by a habanero and a jalapeno plant. Okay, so this is Bertha, and Bertha was completely on her side because we have some sort of critter that likes to crawl through the pepper plants at night. And Bertha is a thick girl, and so she falls over as soon as she gets stepped on. But look at her. She's a big pepper plant. That's like a tree. That is like a pepper tree more so than a pepper plant. But yeah, she's struggling. Oh, Jesus. Bertha, to just come in and see what is what here, you know? Like, what is where and who belongs to who. Because, like, this, she's over here. That's the serrano plant that was wrapped up in this king habanero. This guy, Beefy. This is all this habanero plant right here. This is also the habanero right here. So this is all, look at this arm. Oh, it just broke off. I'm going to take the whole thing. Look at this. Whole arm of habaneros there.
How many are on there, you think?
One, like a dozen and a half.
Wow.
So this is all one habanero plant. Change of plans. I have decided I'm actually only going to take everything out of the beds that has turned, and I'm going to give everything else a little more time for two reasons. One, it is Tuesday, October 22nd, and today the high is 85 degrees. This week, I think we have 3 more days where it's going to be over 80. So I want to give these peppers just some more time, honestly. Two, we're going to fertilize tomorrow, and I obviously will be sharing that with you guys because I want you to see kind of what we do in our plan and process around fertilizing. But we're going to fertilize tomorrow, and we find that it takes about 48-ish hours for the soluble fertilizer to really do its thing. You'll kind of see a kick in the plants. You'll see a big burst in their growth, their green, their production. So I figure by taking everything that's ripe off, leaving only the stuff that still needs some love in a few more days, it'll get hit with some good weather that it wasn't expecting, and we're going to hit it with a fertilizer and see how much more we can harvest that has turned. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep getting everything off that has turned, but everything else is going to stay put for a few more days. Season on the tomatoes, I think we kind of got to this point where we were over them. Like, very grateful for the production, but also just exhausted. We were fighting some pests. We were fighting hornworms. It just felt like they were fighting disease. Now that you can see that they clearly are dying out, I'm sad. I'm so sad to kind of lose out on the tomatoes. We learned so many lessons from our tomatoes this year. We primarily went with small tomatoes, like different types of cherry tomatoes, and we were not prepared for the fact that they are straight up like an invasive species. We got, hundreds of pounds of cherry tomatoes out of just this one bed here. It's awesome. We are so grateful for it. But I think next year we are going to change up our variety. We're going to change up our quantities. We definitely are going to do less cherry tomato plants because the production was wild and we were not prepared for that. But it's been a really cool year. Last year we tried growing tomatoes and we did not grow anything but plants. We did not get a single tomato, not even a green tomato, off of a single plant. And so this year, it feels like a win. We're pretty excited. So one of my favorite plants that I wanted to talk about that we use in most of our beds in the garden is actually going to be marigolds. So we have a lot of different varieties we use. We have these little guys, which are like little firecracker ones. And then we have one of the big blooms that are the African varieties. And we love them for so many different reasons. They're not only beautiful to look at and come in a wide variety of sizes and colors, they're also a really great sacrificial plant for any of your veggies that are super pest prone. So we love putting them in our tomato beds. Specifically, it helped a lot with our production and just kind of kept things like aphids and the hornworms off and more focused on these guys. The other thing is they also attract good bugs. Pollinators absolutely loved our African marigolds that we did this year. They were constantly covered in bees and butterflies. So that piece is amazing. And one of my personal favorite reasons for having marigolds is they actually have very similar medicinal properties to calendula, but I find in our zone, in our area, the marigolds are just much more prolific, and the quantity we see was just triple, if not quadruple, what we were seeing on our calendula. So just easier to grow in our area. They have multiple benefits, obviously, and they're just really pretty to look at. Other flowers we did this year. We had a lot of petunias. We definitely did a bunch of petunias in the greenhouse. We did multiple varieties of marigolds. We had Indian blanket. So another reason why I love the marigolds is because I'm just really proud of the fact that all the marigolds you see in the beds we grew from seed. So the ones we showed you a minute ago, those Cracker Jack ones, those we started inside from seed and transplanted them out into these beds. And then these guys, the African variety, the very large ones here, these guys we actually started from seed directly in the beds. So these are one of the few things that we did directly from seed that was super successful. Earlier this year, we attempted to do some spring crops, like some cool weather crops, and were not successful at all. And so I was kind of put off by starting seeds directly. We ended up doing a lot of starts, which I've talked to you guys about that. We wanted to have a longer season. So we did a lot of starts from local greenhouses and the Amish greenhouses. With this bed, we were able to take out those cool weather crops that just weren't successful. And we started these marigold seeds in the late spring, and they have given us such a long season. And all of these plants are, well over 3 feet tall, and they are just loaded. They look sad now. Obviously, their season has come to an end. But at their peak, we had dozens in the bed, and they were all the size of like softballs. Just beautiful, beautiful marigolds. I'm actually really excited to share with you guys. Obviously, in the coming weeks, these beds are gonna have to get cleaned out whether we like it or not. And so we're gonna have to rip everything out, and I'm excited to share with you guys and see what they look like after and how much vegetation we really pull out of these beds, because it is going to be massive. There's going to be a lot for the compost. I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to get the rest of these tomatoes picked off of here. There's not many left. And then I think I want to go give some treats to the chickens. Okay, so we did the harvesting we were going to do, and it wasn't as much as we planned because I decided to change the plan and we got everything that was ripe. We'll fertilize tomorrow. We'll share that with you guys. And then in a few days, we'll come back and we'll look and see how that fertilizer did and what else we get to harvest off of those beds. But before we finish up today outside, I just wanted to go give the girls some treats because it is my favorite thing to do. Because it's almost Halloween, I thought it would be fun to whip out the pumpkin and worms. So as you guys know, we use the Love My Girls treats pretty exclusively around here, and they have a fun seasonal variety that's pumpkin and worms. So I figure because it's that time of year, happy Halloween to the girls. Let's go give them some treats. Are you excited, big boy? Hi. Come on. Come on. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Today since there was a change of plans obviously, but tomorrow we'll take you guys through as we fertilize everything. I'll make sure to get that uploaded tomorrow night. We'll walk through how we fertilize, what we use, and kind of our schedule for it. But until tomorrow, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you so much here at Little Bee Farm. Do not stop giving us those suggestions and feedback in the comments, and if there's anything you want to see here on the property, just let us know. We'll be happy to share it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on future content, guys. And as always, don't forget our motto here on Little Bee Farm: anything grows if you try.